Angie, what's going on? BNR family, it's me, Gene, on another late night show. I'm joined with Ben. Avi's in the house as we break down Liverpool's form, Liverpool's fixture, and also the news regarding Jeremy Jacquet. We'll also look at why has Arne Slot lost the fan base. But guys, first and foremost, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. And here we are, Ben. It's a massive welcome back, man. We were here on Thursday last week. We were all joyful. Liverpool had just beaten Marseille. And the question we had was, can Liverpool take this form into the weekend's game? And we got it handed to us, mate. And Ben, big up to you first and foremost for coming on. How's things and what's going on?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate, yeah. They're certainly doing one thing this season, Liverpool, and it's doing my fucking head in. No, but look, I appreciate coming back on. As always, I'm always happy to jump on. Shout out to yourself, Asim and Avi, and obviously Ben. Just make sure you smash a like, subscribe, Reds, and sure we'll have an interesting one tonight, Sheen.
Avi, are you back? Are you ready? Are we ready to go with you again?
Yeah, back. Got nursing a little bit of a flu, but I'm certainly back in the country. A quick story though about how me and Ben know each other. First official person to give me my YouTube debut on a channel that he used to have, Rivalry Aside, with Luke and the Arsenal fella. I forget his name, Ben, but yeah, just an insight for everyone. Ben was actually the first person to give me my YouTube debut on his channel. So big up Ben, always owe him a lot, and he's a top guy, top fella.
Yeah, Ben's a top guy. Ben, guys, another thing that I need to say is make sure you head over to Red Order Live, smash that subscribe button. You know, they provide some amazing content. They are going on a regular, practically every sort of day when they can. So please, if you can definitely do that. Well, Ben, I'm going to come to you first, mate. Like I mentioned in my intro, Ben, Liverpool, we were sat here on Thursday last week. We turned up to flipping Bournemouth, and it was shit. Another defeat, mate.
Yeah, it seems to be on the agenda all the time, mate. They start the game 1-0 down, Liverpool, mate, time and time again. I'm not surprised, Gene, to be honest. I'm starting to get a losing interest with them in the Premier League, mate, because you're just not getting much out of them. This manager can't seem to get a tune out of them. And as I say, we've said for a long time, Gene, you know, this team is a reflection of him. So, I don't know, mate, I'm running out of patience with Liverpool, mate, to be honest. So, I'm sure you're the same. We speak regular. And I'm sure your viewers will be the same. But one thing's for sure, it can't carry on. And by his comments today, which I'm sure we'll go into, he needs to realise which football club he manages. Because as I say, mate, he looks like a mouse in a big job. So, but yeah, not happy, mate. And I'm sure everybody is the same in here.
We are. We are, Ben. And to be fair, you know, you mentioned the presser. And you know what? Just because you mentioned the presser, I might as well bring up some of the quotes that he said today, mate. You know, he brought up today, he goes, Arne Slot, big up to Anfield sector who aggregated. He goes, again, this is not going to be a popular opinion, but I will tell you now, maybe the reason we won the league last season is because we played Paris Saint-Germain. We had a week to prepare for league games after going out of the Champions League. Avi, you know what? I actually listened to the presser live, yeah? And when I actually heard him say all of that, I ain't lying. I just thought, what the fuck is this guy on about? I don't know if you caught it live, Avi, or when you listened to it or whatever, but honestly,
yeah,
I was so
Gene,
angry
I did
with
listen
what
to
he said.
Gene, I'll just come in on it, and Ben's right. In some ways, it's as though Arne Slot is trying to dampen our expectations as a football club or as football fans. That's not how it works at Liverpool. This team, in any era, whether it was through Gerard Houllier, Benitez, Roy Evans, Brendan Rodgers, Kenny Dalglish. This football club, the magnitude of this club has huge expectations. And it's almost this comment now, look, we've only won the league twice in 30 years. That's not going to watch because you were saying 2-5 a couple of weeks ago. So don't dampen our expectations because you can't handle yourself in front of the press. You're feeling the pressure. You've got a rocket up your ass and you're failing with Premier League results. Don't tell us how we should be feeling and don't tell us that our expectations should be lower as well. That's not how it works at Liverpool Football Club. The things that he's saying is things that you say at Newcastle. No disrespect to these clubs, but Spurs, West Ham, do not tell us to lower our expectations because this club, under Jurgen Klopp, majority of the time was competing for big titles, European Cup finals, whether we were winning them or losing them. Jurgen had us back in the big time. And Slot, look, I thank him for last season. I thank him for the adjustments, right? I thank him for us playing great football in the Champions League as well, up until that PSG game. And yeah, maybe we got unlucky with that draw, finishing top of the Champions League table, and we got PSG straight away. This season, though, he's making horrific mistakes, Gene. Not only on the pitch, but now off it. He's sounding like Brendan Rodgers towards the end of his tenure. He's sounding like a Roy Hodgson towards the end of his tenure. He's sounding like a Gerard Houllier at the end of his tenure. And look, the inevitable is he'll be out sooner rather than later. And it's just a matter of when. People are saying game by game. I don't know if that's true. If he is going game by game, like we beat Karabakh and then lose to Newcastle, they've got to make a decision because, look, even though we've got the heritage in Europe and we back ourselves over a two-legged game to get to that final in Budapest, the league is your bread and butter, Gene. The
Yep.
league has always been our bread and butter.
And Avi, look, I'll bring Ben in. Ben, when he says shit like this, it pisses off the fan base because we're not a bunch of fucking stupid idiots. And totally Clipsy goes, Gene, at that point we were 16 points ahead with 9 games to go. What the fuck is he waffling on about? I thought exactly the same. And then he mentioned again, like Avi said, he mentioned the 2 in 30. And what pissed me off is you well know that a week and 2 ago that Liverpool online are saying, don't talk about PSG. Why are you bringing that up again? Liverpool last week, they literally grilled you saying, don't say 2 in 30 because you said 2 in 5 in the summer. It's like he's doing it on fucking purpose, mate. I'll be honest with you. And that's what was getting to me at a point. Why would you bring that out when you know this is actually going to rile up the fucking fan base?
Well, he said it, didn't he? I can't believe he said it. Well, you're not going to like the answer. But he fucking carried on saying it anyway. I think he's a fucking bellend, to be honest. He's pissing me off. He doesn't realise the job he's got, mate. When he's mentioning about PSG again, cut the shit now, lad. We're fucking bigger than them. Stop worrying about them. We should be beating them regardless most of the time anyway. So stop fucking talking shit. I'm now looking at a manager that realises his plan A doesn't fucking work either because he constantly talks about low blocks. He's fucking deluded, mate. He's constantly chatting shite. Now I think he's fighting back at the club a bit, Gene and Abby. I think what he's doing is he's letting them know in a snide way, in the most polite possible way. It was 2 in 5 years, but now the shit's hit the fan. Don't forget, I'm the second one who won you the league title in 30 odd years.
That's exactly what it is, Ben.
It is. He's telling them, don't you fucking forget. But I think he's insulting the fan base a bit now, personally. The fact he constantly talks to other teams, mate, he's chatting shit.
And I honestly, I listened to that presser, and obviously them two were the take out points from the actual presser itself. And I just thought, you know what? If you ever want a fan base to go against you, say them words. And he did exactly that. And, especially after getting beat by Bournemouth, you've literally just got beat by Bournemouth. Right, the last thing you want to do is piss off a fan base because they're already pissed off. You're turning up to a couple of home games. Any shite result in the next few days, and the Anfield crowd are gonna be on your back. They're gonna let you know what they think of you. And to be fair to the Anfield crowd, Ben, they've been pretty kind to him. They've not. Obviously the online fans have been going for him for a while, but the Anfield crowd were quiet up until that Burnley game where they thought, you know what, enough is enough. They've sort of had enough. Now he's beginning to really get to the fans, and if he makes any game where a result doesn't go our way, he's gonna get it. He's literally gonna get it. Avi, the board have come out. Well, there's some news that came out. Ben Jacobs put some news out today, like saying that, you know what, he's got the support of the actual the board itself, and the hierarchy are willing to support him at least till the end of the season. Surely that's bollocks if we lose a couple of games.
It's that dreaded vote of confidence, is it? Look, when you start hearing journalists coming out saying that, the board still have confidence in Slaw and they believe that he will get this right, it usually means the opposite way, to be honest. Look, Ben's alluding to his press conferences. It's a far cry from last season, Gene, because last season he came across a very articulate man. His English was supposedly, his English was actually better in terms of his verbiage and use of words were better than it is this season. This season, and I don't know what's happened, but he's been fixated with PSG. He's been fixated with certain words like low blocks. Like, you keep mentioning it every single week. And I think Steven Gerrard alluded to it after the post Marseille game. Like,
Yep.
he needs to stop with this. He needs to stop with this because he's setting himself up to traps with other teams. Other teams are going to exploit this Liverpool team. We do lack physicality in the middle. We do lack that sort of pace and power in the middle. We have got very good midfielders, but we haven't got what this team really needs. And he keeps exploiting this. He keeps exposing us week in and week out. Ben Jacobs coming out that he's got till the end of the season. I don't know what to make of it, Gene, because look, Karabag, we should really beat them tomorrow. Newcastle, Man City, you lose next Saturday to Newcastle at home. You're talking about the fans have always had his back and whatnot, but there have been little murmurs after the Burnley game, after the 1-1
Yep.
at Anfield. There were a chorus of boos. I think that chorus of boos will be loud boos throughout the four stands at Anfield.
Avi, he also mentioned Ben Jacobs mentioned he mentioned unless results deteriorate. We've got fucking 4 points in 15, mate. What
That
else needs to be
started,
done? Huh?
the media are way behind in this, mate.
They have
Fucking
to
mad.
be.
Yeah.
You've got 4 points in 15, 5 wins since September. What else? What do you need? What else in terms of results do they mean? But it needs to deteriorate. It's a fucking joke already.
I just think they've not been told anything new from the club. So I think they're just regurgitating the shit that they've heard previously. The facts are the facts, mate. If he didn't hear fucking boos last time, he's certainly going to hear them now, isn't he, if they fucking carry on like this?
Yeah.
I look at the players. There's a disconnect now from the fans to the manager, and there's also the disconnect from the players to the manager. It all stems to him. He can't do this job. It's as simple as that. I know some people said that me saying Belland was a bit harsh, possibly. And I thank him for last season, but I don't thank him for what we're seeing now. Ultimately, Liverpool is what I care about, so it is what it is. He's treating it as like it's any old job. No, it's not. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We shouldn't be fucking worrying about the opposition. They should be worrying about us. This constant low block talk, it's not fucking like an alien's just landed off fucking planet Earth. It's the first thing we've ever saw. This happens every game, especially more so this year, Sheen. We've got the target on our back with the fucking champions, and we've just handed the trophy over to possibly Arsenal, which hopefully not, because I can't fucking stand them. But the more and more it goes on, Sheen, is the more and more I can't stand this fella, because he doesn't appreciate the team that he's managing. Remember from Jurgen Klopp, and I know we shouldn't always, constantly bring it up, but at the end of the day, Jurgen believed in his style would just wipe the floor with every team. That's why we never had a plan B. Sometimes we possibly needed it, but most of the time it was like, my way works, we'll go with it. He doesn't fucking trust his own way, and he can't believe that they can't break teams down. It was only a couple of months ago he was talking about low blocks are fine. You know what I mean? Because we have more of the ball. Mate, we're deteriorating because of him. He hasn't a clue what he's doing, and I can't even believe I'm even talking like this about a manager that won the league with us last year. Crazy. I never thought I'd say this, mate, but maybe we just need to take the odd defeat to get him out the job now, team, because fucking, I don't know if I can go on till the end of the season like this. And I'm sure the people watching your shows are the same like us, Gene. I'm sick of fucking talking about him. I genuinely am. I'm losing the excitement of game days, mate, where we're talking about, oh, what this we could be doing this score lines, blah blah blah. Most 90% of the time, I think we're fucking losing now
I
because
know that's the sad
this
thing.
Jurgen created, you know, the quote "doubters to believers." He created the belief. This fella's fucking created the opposite, the doubt. So you know, it's got to stop, mate. I know it's funny and all that shit, but at the end of
I'm
the
at
day,
that stage now.
we're Liverpool fucking football club, mate,
Yeah.
acting like some fucking foolish team, and it's as simple as that.
I look, mate, Ben. I'll be honest with you. I concur with everything that you've said. You know, we've been talking for a while, and I've been on his back. I've been calling this for a long time now that I don't think he's good enough, and that I believe I need this guy out of the job. Are we coming back to you? Is it? I think is it time? Do you genuinely believe now, in terms of the fan base, that Arne Slot is literally on his last legs, and he's literally lost the fan base, because the fan base now are literally now probably, I don't want to sound like we, like Ben said, want to lose, but he's literally a game away from everybody piling it on.
Yeah, and look, one thing that Liverpool football fans have always done is be patient with the manager. Whoever walked through those doors, we've always been patient. We've always said, okay, let them implement this style and let's see where this journey takes us. Throughout the years, um, look, he is. Look, this game by game basis, I don't believe in that. I do believe they've sounded out maybe Xabi Alonso, but Xabi Alonso said, I don't want to take a job so quick after Madrid. In the summer, I'll be ready. And I'm just giving here some caveats. And I don't know if the board are ready to trigger sacking Slot and bringing in there's been talk of Steven Gerrard as an interim. I don't know if I believe that, Gene. So they probably feel like, shall we just let this ride then with Arne? We are doing relatively well in the Champions League. Beat Karabakh tomorrow. We're in the top eight, and we don't have to play that extra fixture, those extra two fixtures that the other teams from 8th till 21st or 16th, whatever it is, have to play. So I think they're in a bit of limbo as well. When do we do this? When does it really get as bad as it is? I think it's really bad. This right now in the scenario that we're in, it's a bad scenario. The Bournemouth game was absolutely a stinker, and the excuses that came after that, the win, this, that, the other, the substitution, the Gomez and Endo stuff, that was all a farce. So when does it get bad? When does it really get bad for Hughes and Edwards? And are they humble enough to admit that, you know what? We didn't expect this to happen so quick under Arne. We did expect this smooth transition from Jurgen to Arne's slot to continue. And, they would have been like big beaming smiles last season when we won the league. And they probably thought the success, this is it now. The succession plan, this is what we were talking about. But it's gone horribly wrong. We've spent so much money. Some of the players have transitioned or got used to the Liverpool way a lot longer than they were supposed to take. Kirk has taken a few months to get up to speed. Frimpong has started to show a lot better than he did previously. I know he had the injuries. Florian Wirtz is looking a lot better, although that second half against Bournemouth was absolutely shocking. Ekitike has given us more than a few glimpses of what he could become like for seasons to come. We've been unlucky with Isak. There are a lot of variables. I look, if he gets sacked tomorrow or after the Carabao game, I understand it. But I'm not sure what the board do. I think they're in a bit of limbo themselves. I think they might have thought that they've short-handed Slot because they wanted a Gahey and Gahey was practically there until Glasner and Parrish decided to pull the trigger and say, no, we're not selling him to you. So they left Arnie Slot short-handed. There's a few individuals in that first 11 that need a really good look at themselves. We've talked before about the McAllister. Van Dijk as well being dodgy. Konate, who's had a stinker of a season. Salah, who's not been at the races. There have been a lot of performances there that I do feel kind of sorry for Arne, but he needs to get a tune out. This was what was great about Jurgen. He could make the average player look amazing. He was brilliant at making for Firmino a polished product at Germany, but making him an amazing product at Liverpool. Sadio Mane had the raw minerals, but he brought the consistency at Liverpool. Mohamed Salah, we saw the damage he was doing at Fiorentina on loan and at Roma for that season and a half, but he just became such a better player at Liverpool. I don't think Slot can develop these sort of maybe okay. Gravenberch we saw last season have an amazing season, and he's played relatively well. But get an extra 5-10% out of players who aren't performing. I'm not too sure.
That's fair, Ben. And Ben, coming to you, look, end of the day, at the start of the season, when you're the champions of England, okay, let's say, with the unfortunate circumstances that happened with Diogo Jota. End of the day, this is the Liverpool Football Club. End of the day, I know we've made changes. We've brought in 6 players. A few of them left, and we probably are 1 or 2 short. But that is no excuse for any manager to be sat in 6th place, yeah, fighting for Champions League football for next season. That is for me, it's non-negotiable. You have the minimum requirement from that team was to deliver Champions League football. Yet we're sat in 6th place, don't even look like getting Champions League football, and you've got the likes of United and Chelsea, who look like, or especially over the last couple of weeks, who they're on an upward spiral going towards getting them places. This is why we're really it's got worse. He's got away with it over the last few weeks, Ben, because we were 4 or 5 points ahead of them. He's still in that bracket of, I'm still making Champions League. I've got the minimum requirement of the season. You don't have that minimum requirement anymore, mate. Lose one more game, and that minimum requirement could seem a long way.
Mate, the crazy thing is as well, it's like no one wants to win the Premier League. So if Liverpool weren't as shit as they have been, they definitely could have been up there going for the Premier League again. Because Arsenal is shit and they're floundering in fucking January. I can't believe that we're in 6th position, mate. And do you know what? Look, Edwards and Hughes, they do have their flaws at times. The squad being short. I do think they possibly ran out a bit of money in the summer. Because let's be honest, you don't get much change out of 500 million now, do you? And on the year that FSG decide to spend, the market's so fucking inflated. And I think they are shocked because they probably thought that they could gamble a bit with the players we brought in. That's no discredit to the quality. I'm talking of the odd position not filled in. And I think they were looking at the manager going, Avi mentioned it there, Klopp used to bring lower ranked players and make them top draw. And he's fucking made some of world-class players this year look fucking garbage. So, yeah, it's just the polar opposites. I just can't believe the situation we are in. We shouldn't even be talking about Liverpool being in 6th place, mate. That's a fucking disaster. And this is why I think he goes soon, personally, Gene. I've been saying it on Twitter. We've spoke about it. I understand people talk about they're not going to release him. It looks bad on Edwards and Hughes. It doesn't look bad on them, mate, because they've had a league title out of it, so they'll take that. They'll just say, look, we won a league title, but he was shit the next year. It is what it is. I'm looking at it now, and I can kind of see why they probably haven't backed him in January, because I wouldn't fucking give him a single penny. Because, mate, do you know we brought a new lad in as much as we need one? The way he's got us playing, that new player will start getting loads of shit on the name. Mate, people have been doubting Isak fucking Wirtz and stuff this season, mate. So I wouldn't be giving him much more personally, because he doesn't know what to do with it. And how can you give him players, mate, when he doesn't even play them in the correct positions? And when he does eventually play them, Florian Wirtz has missed most of our big games this year. How the fuck do you accept that? So I think his time's coming to the end very soon. And the reason being is, mate, you've just mentioned there, Chelsea and United. We've got to go to fucking Old Trafford away. We've also got to go to Villa away. We've also got Man City coming up. How many of them do you think Liverpool are going to fucking win? If Man United beat us at Old Trafford, we're out. We're not getting Champions League, mate, because the gap will start moving. And look, mate, I would sooner sack him, right? Sack him, put someone else in the job, and we have a good go for the top 4. If we don't get it, it is what it is. The damage was done earlier. They keep him in the job, and we still don't get it. We've got to look like we're trying to solve this shit, and I do believe they will. Because put it this way, the problems that they'll have with sponsorships, etc., Gene, if they don't get top 4, and I think it's going to put Liverpool close to PSR issues personally. So I think they'll start to look. This week is massive in my opinion, mate, and they're all home games. He's got big pressure for me, mate.
I agree with you completely. I think it's there's massive pressure on him. And I think he's alluded to it in his presser that, any lose a game and the pressure is going to be wild. He knows. He actually knows. And it was the first time I actually saw him in the presser and I thought, you know what? Not saying he looked like a man defeated here, Avi, but when I heard him and I saw his face, and I thought, you know what, the writing's on the wall for you, and I can just tell from you the way everything is that deep down we're just kicking the can further down, whereas it's gonna happen sooner or later, because there's only a certain amount we can take as a fan base, and he's literally on his last legs, and I just think that any sooner that news is going to come that he wants gone. But Avi, look, we're here. Ben mentioned not giving Arne Slot the money to go and spend and go and buy another centre back. But the truth is, we need 3 fucking centre backs, regardless of who is the manager right now. We should have done, and this is a pop at Hughes and Edwards, that you should have at least, because if you're the guys that are doing the buying, of this football club, you can't see that this team needs fucking centre backs right now, right? At least bring one in. Okay, because you're gonna have to buy fucking 3 in the summer. At least try to fast forward one now, so at least give him a little bit of help. No.
Yeah, and we used to get told that, the way Edwards operates and Ian Graham and whatnot, back in the day, during Klopp's era, is that they plan 2 windows in advance. So where is that planning then? You've known for the best part of over a year that Kanate is entering his last contract. You knew that before this season, Real Madrid was sniffing about. And more often than not, Real Madrid get their man. You also know that Virgil van Dijk's going to be 36 come July. You also know that Joe Gomez can't stay fit. You'll be lucky to get 20 games a season from him in all competitions. Leone's a young kid. He's coming in at 18. You cannot put that kind of expectational pressure on the kid. And we've seen a sample size of what he can do against Southampton, but the poor fella pulls his ACL. So where is this planning? The Gahey deal. Okay, you didn't get it done in August, but you damn well sure get that fucking deal done in January. And what happens? We get gazumped again by City. Where's the Semenyo? We liked Semenyo. The talk was we've been tracking him since early parts of January. Asim told us that, listen, we like Semenyo. And then we hear that we're not in for him anymore. No, it's not because we're not in for him. He's rejected us because we've been a shit show throughout the season. And he's got more chance of silverware this season with City. But back to the centre back. It's a situation that has been running for the last 2 years. There should have been a succession plan from 2024, to be honest, Gene. Yet we've
Yeah.
seen no one come in. Konate, Gomez, and Van Dijk. Listen, Van Dijk cannot play 45, 50 games again next season. We're not even letting him rest. He's an injury away. He's probably, on his last legs too, in terms of carrying a big knock, and his World Cup year as well. So he'll be trying to manage himself, but he can't, because Arne needs him at every beck and call. It's a disaster. And Hughes, for as much as praise as they should get for the summer, because I thought the summer buys were brilliant buys, and I knew, I think everyone knew, give it time, and everyone that's been signed last summer, they've all come good. But it's been an absolute disaster, and we've really short-handed this team by not getting 2 centre backs in. 2 centre backs were minimum last summer.
Yeah.
This summer, you're going to go for 3, and you necessarily won't get the top 3 that you want. You always miss out on 1 or 2.
Yep, you're 100%. And look, Ben, not buying. I felt as though not buying in January, regardless. At the end of the day, we're still in the Champions League. Anything can happen. Try to back him a little bit, give him something. Yeah. A player, maybe. People have mentioned. I'm not saying Jeremy Jacquet, because it looks like he's going to be moving in the summer now, with obviously a deal, and we are in talks with him. And we'll talk about that in a bit, but. It's just a fucking shit show all around right now, from the top to bottom. We are at a shit show. And just to fucking remind you, Ben, we have the unbelievable fucking Endo playing centre back for us tomorrow night, mate, who's just come back from an injury, can't even get a fucking place in his standard position of midfield, and we're gonna have Endo, who's gonna be playing centre back for us tomorrow, mate. And a chance is he might be playing that on the weekend as well against Newcastle. Wataru Endo, centre back for Liverpool Football Club, mate.
In 2026.
There you go.
You know what I mean? I'm fucking running out of things to say, mate. I actually like Endo, but not as a player now. Do you know what I mean? He's a great fella. The fucking the funny side of it with the gum shield stuff's fucking worn off now. But what can we do? You know, and before when I was saying about not giving the manager money, that wasn't me saying don't spend any money in the club. But I fucking wouldn't trust this manager anymore. Because he doesn't have a clue of what to do with the players he's currently got. Bearing in mind, we signed a right back, and then midfielders have been playing right back and shit, mate. So, you know, fucking hell. At this rate, Florian will be playing centre half tomorrow. But yeah, mate, it's very, very strange. This is where the club need to act, but you know, we've seen it before. They just don't do it sometimes, but I don't pin any of this on FSG this year, lads. I think they've spent big money, and from their side of it, they've done their side. I don't know, mate. It's just been a fucking disaster this season. The problem is Liverpool need to spend big money in the summer. That's where FSG will get massively looked at, mate. And as Avi knows in particular, I've been very vocal on fucking FSG, but this year they've backed up and broke fucking 2 transfer records of the UK in the summer. So, you know, they've certainly done their side of the talk. But this manager's really let the club down this year, I do believe. Don't get me wrong, there is positions where they're short, but there's not enough for Liverpool to be sat in fucking 6th. And even to be worrying about a fucking carrier bag or carabag, whatever the fuck they're called. If we're worrying about them at Anfield, mate, shut the fucking doors, innit? Because we've become a laughingstock to every team in the fucking league in Europe. Fucking carrier bag, mate. What more can you fucking say on that?
And you know, you mentioned FSG, and I know Avi's generally been quite vocal in regards to FSG. Nobody has actually pointed the finger at FSG. The finger's been pointed at Hughes and Edwards, who are in charge of all the signings. As we're told, they're in charge of the signings. They're the ones who look after the incomings. And Arne Slot is the coach. Obviously, Arne Slot does have an input in regards to the actual signings itself. But I just found this absolutely baffling. Like, it's mental that this team cannot go and buy players. This where we can still, Ben, I know we're shit, right? I know this team is shit right now, but I still, in a crazy way, believe that, you know what, if we had the 2 more players that come in, we could have at least helped the manager or the players, if they can want to keep him till the end of the year, whatever it is, at least try to get the fucking 4th spot or the 5th spot. It's like we're giving it away, and that is like gross misconduct, because we know how difficult it is of missing out on Champions Leagues. We could be, set back 3 years financially in terms of, attraction, in terms of bringing in the players. That could be a massive, massive kick in the teeth to Liverpool Football Club, especially when you've just gone and bought these players. And if it is the next phase of bringing in the next players, you're not going to miss out on your fucking number 1 targets. Mark Gay, we wait for the fucking correct target. If we have to wait for that guy, we wait to that guy, because we'll make sure we get him. Well, you didn't get him. You didn't get the man that you waited for. He's gone somewhere else. And that's the thing that pisses me off with this football club at times, because, we're just reactive and not proactive. We replaced players. We didn't enhance the fucking team when we were champions of England. And that's where it really, really gets me going, Ben, because sometimes I'm just like, you know what? Fucking today, I listened to the press conference, Ben, and it's the first time I didn't tweet anything about it.
I've stopped fucking listening to them, because I think a lot of the shit that he says is nonsense. And obviously we're in a mood with him, aren't we? So we take things a lot worse. But I just want to say something to you. Give me your thoughts on this then. How does it sound that next season, possibly, we're playing in the Europa League with Florian Wirtz and Isak in the Europa League? How the fuck does that sound? Because to me, lad, my blood's fucking boiling, even thinking of that. Because that could be a reality for Liverpool. This is why I think they will chop him soon, the manager. Because, mate, for FSG on the owner side of it, mate, they'll be saying, what the fuck is going on? We give you the tools. And don't get me wrong, there was the summer, the transfers that went out of the club, a few people wanted to leave. Luis Diaz wanted to go. Dickhead at right back wanted to go, as we know. I'm not going to say his name, that prick. Nunes had to go. So, of course, there was going to be a lot of signings that were replacing, you know what I mean? However, Gene, it couldn't have gone any worse. And this is why I think there's a major disconnect between Edwards and Hughes and obviously the manager. There's no chance they're happy with him at the minute, Gene. That's all I'm going to say. The
Happy.
little things that I've heard around the club, like they're not happy. And this is why I think the media are behind it, Gene. I fucking keep saying on social media, anyone that follows me, I do not believe he's here very soon because he can't be. What happens if Liverpool are fully out of the top four? You can't just fucking keep him there. What, and just let it fizzle out? No fucking way. It
You
cannot
can't.
happen. It can't happen. And if it did, then fucking by all means, crack on with it. And it's on you then. Because I'm telling you, mate, when the fucking away end, mate, is turning on the manager, that they're the proper diehards who travel up and down the country,
Yeah.
Europe. I go them, as you know, and you do as well at times when you're obviously not doing the watch-alongs. It's fucking terrible. It's terrible.
It is. Yeah, there's times, Ben, I've spoken to the people that go to the games, obviously because I'm not able to go to the games as much now. But honestly, this last game, the Mo was on and he said, flipping the UA end, it was toxic at times. It felt as though people were walking out of that stadium, pissed off and had enough for the manager. And that was going to happen sooner or later. That was the next step, mate, where the away fans are going to go. And once they go, there's no way back, mate. There's literally no way back.
Mate, you can see it. Just watch that fucking... when Liverpool got the second goal, for instance, mate, you can see how much the players give a shit about the manager. They weren't... When Szoboszlai scored that free kick, they went up the other end and nearly scored a goal, didn't they?
Yeah.
Our players didn't even fucking sprint back. So people are talking about, are they fit? That is up for debate, do you know what I mean? But fuck me, have you seen the training videos where they're throwing fucking tennis balls at fucking trampolines and shit like that? It's like a circus, mate. I feel as a... I am usually the most optimistic fan. I sound proper negative lately, mate. And it pains me to talk like this, mate, because I'd rather be talking about wins and fucking the excitement. I can't stand watching us at the minute, mate. I literally cannot stand watching Liverpool at the minute because this is not Liverpool. This is not Liverpool we're used to. And regardless of, what our manager was like previously, but that's how Liverpool have always been, mate, a front-footed team with the odd manager in there who didn't really play that way. But fuck me, mate. I don't even know what slop ball is. Shit ball, it should be fucking called now.
Oh, Avi, in regards to Arne Slot now, look, we've mentioned in terms of the fans, it seems like it's Chutti sort of time with him. But I mentioned in terms of Hughes and Edwards before. I think you got cut off. There has to be some fucking accountability from them two as well. Like, we are fucking short. And I get, what, sometimes, you've got, a targets in the summer. There's times where you have to say, you know what, to save this shit show, you either get rid of the manager, but you got a few days, bring in a defender or something, and help this team at least try to fucking get top four. Because like Ben mentioned, this team is fucking goosed. 70 minutes in, Gravenberg's walking, Szoboszlai's knackered, Ekatike can't do more than fucking 70 minutes per game. Van Dijk's played 32 games out of 34. You've got Salah who can't run anymore. Gakpo can't do shit. This team McAllister looks like a completely different fucking player this season. Okay, albeit been half decent over the last 2 or 3 games. There's fucking major issues with this fucking football club right now. And something had to give. Something in terms of help this team to at least try to get this fucking top 4. No?
Of course, and look, I keep going back to Man City. They literally are now throwing everything at the kitchen sink, and they've got, they've brought in Semenyo, they've brought in Gahey. They've done the business because they think that Arsenal can be cool. They think they can have a real go at the Champions League. So they've not cared about the money. They've just gone out and spent it. And look what a Semenyo and Gahey could have done for us. Look what it could have done for us. But it's negligence. Gene, you've said it's misconduct. I think these fuckers at the top have written it off. I think they've literally written the season off and said, you know what? We'll do another reset in the summer. There will be money spent in the summer. I'm confident of that. Maybe not in the tune of 500 million, but there will be money spent. and they'll say, look, a new manager, fresh start, and we've got some players in. I really do believe that. But Gene, if I'm a player, all right, I've seen the links of Jeremy Jacquet today, who, I've touted, I've said it for quite a while that this boy is the dog's bollocks. But if I'm Jeremy Jacquet, or I'm any young aspiring player, I'll be looking at Liverpool with a bit of hesitation. Yes, I get the magnitude of the club. Yes, it's one of the greatest clubs in the world. But I would have a bit of hesitation,
They might not be in
and
the Champions League next season.
might not be in the Champions League. So there's that palaver to contend with as well. So, it's all good and well earmarking players, and hopefully we can do something within the last 72 hours of the transfer window. I can't see it. I really can't see it. And I think the board have probably put up and shut up as well. We won't see Vinny O'Connor outside Kirby on deadline day, because they've probably told him in advance, listen, we're doing nothing, not even a loan deal. But this team does need a little bit of reconstruction in January. It did need a player or two to come in, but it's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. So, yeah, it's a farce, and it's inevitable. Look, Newcastle City, he loses any one of those, I can't see how he stays on. I really don't.
Guys, there's nearly 600 of you in here, guys. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. It goes a massive way for us. Just that one little click in terms of the algorithms. For you guys, it's only one click. For us guys, it means a lot. So please smash that like button. I don't know how many likes we're on right now, but please don't forget to do that. Just got a couple of super chats on something that I wanted to talk about. Big up S.117. He goes, Yara, Enrique and PSG need to get a fucking restraining order at this point. It's not the mark. Gya e jana pagal. Ojana pagal. Basically meaning fucking Enrique needs to get a fucking restraining order on Slot, because he's mentioning fucking PSG every fucking transfer, every fucking
the other way around, because Slot's now made him look shit.
Oh, there you go. But Ben, coming to you, mate. Talking of centre backs, it's only fair we mentioned the name that came through. I think it was guys that through today. Avi briefly touched on him. News came out. Paul Joyce. He mentioned that. Let me just get rid of that. Rennes centre back Jeremy Jacquet is under consideration in the summer, and that's from obviously one of Liverpool's, we'd say one of the goats of Liverpool journalism is Paul Joyce. He's come out and said that we're interested in Jeremy Jacquet for the summer. There is news, obviously, that there are other clubs interested. A couple of weeks ago we heard about the interest of Chelsea, and obviously now we're hearing the interest of Bayern Munich as well. If we're honest, Ben, I'm coming to you first. Number one, do you know much about him? And number two, would Jeremy Jacquet choose us over Chelsea and Bayern Munich?
I haven't seen much of him, so I'd be the worst person to comment on it. I've seen good little bits and bad little bits, but that's normal for a young player. I just don't see any young player taking the risk at the minute with Liverpool, and the reason why I say that is it's too much uncertainty. Mature players at 25, 26, they know it'll be all right. These young players, they'll be more asked about games. I know we've hardly got any centre-backs, but fucking hell, they'll have seen it, mate, the way Liverpool have been this year with certain players playing out of positions and all this shit. And I don't know, it's just not a good camp to be in at the minute, mate. You can see. So I don't think they'll get him. And I also I don't give a fuck what's being said for the summer, mate. We've got to get to the summer first. I'm asked about now, so couldn't give a fuck. Doesn't impress me if Liverpool fucking sign him for the summer now. To me, it means nothing. Because I tell you what,
that's
mate,
just like them giving us a little carrot saying, "Oh, look, we did sign somebody," but you know what? Probably deal with it.
Well, if you back the fucking fella in the job, fucking spend money now. Then don't tell us that he sees the season type of shit out. So don't want to hear none of that. Liverpool have got a season to recover, so buying someone for the summer does fuck all for me.
Yeah, fair play. Avi, Jeremy Jacquet, I saw a tweet from you from a while ago. You mentioned him. It was a player that you liked a long time ago. Obviously, I know you mentioned every fucking player under the sun, but I'll give you credit for this one. You did mention it, and you did speak about him a while ago, so fair play. But Jeremy Jacquet got suitors Chelsea. Look, if we're honest, do we really ever beat Chelsea to a signing? If we're honest, who have we actually beaten? When have we actually beaten Chelsea to a signing? Let the guys know in the chat as well. If we did, I'd like to know, because they always seem to fucking gazumple, whether it's a contract, whether it's the money.
Gene, I think Virgil was one, wasn't it? Look, they liked Virgil, so did City, so did Liverpool, but we had done our homework on him.
Alisson Becker.
But
Alisson we did.
Alisson Becker's another one, yeah. But we're going back, look, 8-9 years. I don't care whether we beat any club for a signing, but this fella from Rennes, Jeremy Jacquet, Gene, he's got all the attributes. Yes, he's a young defender. He will make mistakes, but I think he is a natural successor to when Van Dijk eventually departs. He is 19. He won't be the finished article up until 23, 24. But the potential is there. And if it means getting him in over the summer but doing a deal now, I would be all for it. I totally understand where Ben's coming from. We need to see out the season, of course. We need to see what we do now between now and the summer. I get that. But if it means we've got Jacquet next season alongside a Leone, and then Van Dijk, and then you get someone else like a Mickey van der Ven or a Schlotterbeck, I'll be happy, because look, I like the kid, and yeah, look, it seems as if Chelsea have been on this conveyor belt where they keep buying every youngster under the sun, and giving them 7-8 year contracts. I mean, that in itself, Leo's the youngster, isn't it? Because he knows he's in for a well-off payday by joining Chelsea. But it's also about the players' ambition as well. And a club like Rennes, they teach him. They teach him very well as well. We've seen Desiree Doué go to PSG from there. We've seen Camavinga, all good sort of grounded footballers. And I hope Jeremy Jacquet is the same, and he sees, the heritage, the prestige behind Liverpool is the one that I want to go to. And look, you'll have his friend there, Hugo Ekitike, because look, Jeremy Jacquet will be a full French international in years to come. So he'll have Ekitike there. There is some kind of glimmer of hope that Kanate stays. So he'll have a bit of assistance there as well. But if it means getting a deal in summer and confirming it now, I'm all for it.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. Because we need fucking 3, and we need 3 players to come in the summer. If we get one done now for the summer, I'm all for it. Because there's a lot of noise regarding he's a brilliant footballer. He's got the attributes. He looks good, pacey. He's got he can drive with the ball. I do really like him. So if he's one of them for the summer, okay, fine. Yeah, I get that, but that doesn't mean we don't fucking go and sign somebody else that we need right now. That doesn't mean you allow Endo to be your centre back. That doesn't mean that you allow Joe Gomez, you can't play for over 2 games in a week, that you allow that to take place and happen. And look, with respect to Ibu Konate, he hasn't had these best of seasons. He's improved. We don't know. Look, he's just lost his father. We don't know how long a player is going to need to, in terms of his head, how long he needs to recover from all of that. We know, he was close to his father as well. So it's not as plain sailing as it looks. And I would love for Liverpool to do something, but it doesn't look like anything's really going to happen from now. But Ben, if we don't let go, right? We don't let go of the manager, and he's here until the summer. Yeah? Then what? How is this fucking 4 or 5 months going to play out and unfold in front of our eyes, mate? Because it's not going to be good. And it's just going to be... I just don't accept in terms of toxicity. It's just going to get too toxic.
Yeah, it will. I think that's one thing that needs to be changed within the club. This constant talk of, is the manager staying or going? Fans constantly having debates, who's in, who's out. I'm fucking bored of it. Just... If he stays, mate, don't expect Liverpool to be finishing in the top 5. I'm saying 5 because the potential 5th place. Don't expect much in the FA Cup, and don't expect much in the Champions League, because, in the cup competitions especially, mate, and certainly chasing top 5, you need a bit of inspiration from the sidelines, and we've seen it that we don't have it. So, unfortunately, I know it's a very doom and gloom comment today, but I'm just a bit down with Liverpool at the minute. It's hard to be with any sort of optimism. A signing would massively help. The club needs a lift, and this is what I mean, mate. I'd happily take Steven Gerrard right now, because something has to give. And I know some people aren't in favour for it, but one thing's for sure is, mate, the spotlight needs to be took off the managerial position And then I need to see which fucking player is actually good enough for Liverpool for next season. Because, if they don't start making any fucking tracking back and shit like that, just fuck them right off. Because unfortunately, mate, as much as I've been hammering Slot, the fucking players have been garbage as well. So let's just put it out there. I think this has been one of Alisson's Becker's, for instance, worst seasons. Like, how's that goal, the third goal, going in? Scrap fucking around in front of him and nowhere near it from him. I don't know, mate. It's really difficult to see what happens with Liverpool. But one thing's for sure is, mate, I'd like to see a bit of fight come back in this team. And I think it'd be, regardless if it's Gerrard, Alonso, whoever, it's a very easy conversation and team talk. If you don't fucking turn up, the crowd know it's you, and it possibly wasn't the fella before you. So either fix up or fuck off.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Avi, big game tomorrow in the Champions League. It's a game that Liverpool should win. We've done okay in the Champions League in terms of performances, but we did get beat fucking by PSV, and Galatasaray. People seem to forget that we have lost a couple of games in the Champions League. We have to win this game tomorrow night just to solidify that top 8 position. We don't have to worry about that next round, because if we get beat or even draw, and if the results go against us, a draw's not enough. So we have to turn up tomorrow and get that win.
Yeah, look, we should dispose of Karabakh, who've had a couple of fair results. I think they beat Chelsea, they beat Frankfurt. They've had a couple of good, decent results.
Chelsea beat Frankfurt.
Drew with Chelsea. But look, Gene, I actually do think this team is more suited to the to the Champions League, where it's less intense, where the physicality doesn't show, where you can have like technical players like a Florian Wirtz have ample of spaces. We saw it in the Marseille game. He was pulling strings that day. This De Zerbi football that we get told about, this De Zerbi setup, build up from the back. We exposed that Marseille team, just like we exposed that Madrid team, just like we exposed that Atletico Madrid team.
You know what though, Abby? Can I just jump in? We are set up for the Champions League, but we're not at Anfield. So away from home, that's where the good results have kind of came from. It's hard. I find it hard that Liverpool are I think they're gonna struggle tomorrow. I really do. The nerves are fucking so high, aren't they?
That's the thing. The whole sort of, what you call it, the whole atmosphere around Anfield tomorrow will be interesting for those that are going. See if I'm sure they'll back this team from minute one, but as soon as they come across a sticky period, and God forbid if Karabakh get that first goal, then you could see us shooting the bricks again. But I think, look, we are Liverpool. It is European heritage. We have got 6 European Cups. We should be going to Anfield tomorrow and disposing this team and disposing them pretty well. Look, when it comes to European football, Gene and Ben, I will back us over a 2-legged tie. Regardless of where we are, we've had some fantastic results in Europe when the league form hasn't been great. I allude to the 2005 season where, under Benitez's first year, we were shy in the league. Let's face it. We finished 5th, but in the Champions League, we beat the likes of Juventus. We had some great results away at Turin. Then obviously the final, the semi-finals.
That is fucking 20 years ago, man. That game was 20 fucking years ago, bro. You're talking about a game from fucking 2005, bro.
Gene, no, these were your wrong, though.
Different
Because we've always had European heritage. We've always had European heritage, though. We always perform in Europe. We always perform in Europe. All right, come in recent years then. Barcelona beat us 3-0. No, sharp 1 minute. Barcelona beat us at Camp Nou, and we beat them 4-0. We weren't expecting that. So don't give it now. Liverpool over a 2-legged tie. Liverpool over a 2-legged tie. I'll back them against anyone. I'm not going to be doom and gloom. The league, all right, fair enough, we've been shit. But in European football, we are one of the most. We're still the most fair team. You do not want to play Liverpool in a 2-legged tie. So, Gene, 20 years ago, but I can come recently as well. Dortmund in Klopp's first season. Barcelona beating them 4-0. We turn up in Europe. And tomorrow, I'm pretty sure we'll beat Karabakh. And whoever wants to come to Anfield or even away, I think we're well suited. I'm not saying, look, I've said we'll be in Budapest. That's more hope and dreaming. But I think in Europe, We can give anyone a game. We gave PSG a good game. Yes, they battered us over the park over 180
Fucking
minutes.
good game.
But we took it to penalties. We still beat him in Paris. We still beat him in Paris, didn't we?
I was there, lad. It was a fucking tough game, that.
No, Ben, it's a tough game, but we still beat them. And look, we lost out in penalties, yeah? We were unlucky. But prior to that, we had blitzed every team in the Champions League to qualify. So look,
I'm not going
to completely be doom and gloom, Gene. I'm sorry, I can't. I still believe that this team can still do good things in Europe and hopefully in the FA Cup. If it isn't to be, then yeah, he's going to get his marching orders.
We need a good start tomorrow, Avi. That's the key thing, isn't it? If they start shit,
100%.
You know, it's just gonna. Do you know what the problem is? People be a bit more snappy. No, if Liverpool start fucking going backwards all the time, and I think that it's weird to say this, but the perfect team to upset us tomorrow because fucking hell, I don't know much about them. Where the fuck are they even from? You know what I mean? I don't even know myself. Fucking hell, I didn't even know where they were from. But one thing's for sure is they just need to sit in tomorrow. That will for us. That's all. That's it. Just show the fucking tape of low block conversations, and then what an easy game plan for fucking Carabag.
Look, we'll win tomorrow. I've got no issue with winning tomorrow. But, you know, obviously it's doom and gloom. You know, we play a decent side, like, you know, I'm talking about the top sides away from home. And it's completely different. We played two of the hardest sides with Atletico and Real. We both played them at home. But look, let's wait and see what happens. But I'm telling you, tomorrow, go fucking goal down, mate. Bro, that crowd is gonna be fucking going mental, mate. I'm telling you, because they're not gonna take and accept fucking taking a draw against a team like Karabag, man. That's like Karabag. Can you believe we're calling him Karabag, man?
Mate, in my show just before, there was a Karabag fan thinking they're gonna win. What the fuck's happened to Liverpool?
They arrested all 11 players on the weekend, and we looked shagged on the weekend. And they arrested them. I think the Slot mentioned it in the press that they arrested all their players for this game. And look, they need a result. If they can get a draw, they're through, mate. If they get a decent draw, mate, they've got a chance of being in that next round of the flipping. Obviously, the last, whatever you want to call it, 24, whatever it is. 24. They're in that round. So they're going to try their best to get a draw.
They rested theirs, we rested ours because we didn't fucking run.
God forbid, if we draw tomorrow, it's curtains for him. There is no going back. Tomorrow doesn't need to be a win. It needs to be a resounding win to cap off the European.
Tomorrow, lads.
It has to be a resounding win.
Only problem.
There's 2-1, 3-2s, 2-1s. I can't do them now, not anymore. Tomorrow needs to be a resounding win and go on to Newcastle at home on Saturday.
Oh yeah, boys. Avi's doesn't want the doom and gloom, and still feels like something can happen in the Champions League. Well, I hope I had his confidence, man. And I'm a guy that believes in, Avi, I'm a guy that believes in miracles. I'm one of them that believes we can fucking go and win a Champions League. Normally speaking, I'm one of them. I just fucking don't believe we can with this team. I genuinely don't believe that we can fucking.
Okay, Gene. Gene, a question to you then. A question to you. Who would you make favourites in the Champions League right now? Top
PSG.
Three. Name me your top three teams to win the Champions League. Go on.
Okay, PSG 100%, Barcelona 100%, and probably, PSG, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich.
Oh, and do you think that we can beat them over a two-legged tie?
I will be honest. Barcelona will tear us a new one. Yeah. Barcelona will literally tear us.
You don't think Barcelona have defensive frailties? You do not think Barcelona have defensive frailties?
You ask me a question. Let me finish, please. Yeah. Barcelona will tear us a fucking new one. Yeah, I'll be honest. PSG will tear us a new one, right? Avi, and what's his name? Bayern Munich, I think, will beat us. Rameno.
I'm shocked you're saying Barcelona.
Why?
They have defensive frailties. We can expose that defense in Europe any day.
PSG, they always have frailties. Barcelona play high line. And bro, Avi.
PSG are not the team of last season. PSG are not the team of last season. PSG are not the team of last season, I said.
And is my dad gonna mark Lamine Yamal? My dad gonna mark him. and mark their
You don't
player.
worry
Is
about your
my
mouth.
dad in midfield gonna pick up Pedri and De Jong? Are you
I
going to
think
get the ball of Pedri and De Jong?
you got one team right. You got one team right.
Yeah,
Bayern
there you
Munich.
go.
And
Yeah.
they were easily exposed by Arsenal.
Any
Who-
bro, they will batter us.
They won't. They won't.
They
They
will
won't.
bat
They won't.
Avi out of the Camp Nou on
No,
that big
you
pitch.
see now
Who's
you
gonna
become
No,
negative. You're too negative. Way
Avi,
too
you're
negative.
quicker than fucking Gravenberg on that big pitch at the Camp Nou, bro. You'll be fucking faster than him.
No.
Come on,
We'll
Avi.
give-
You
We
see
will
this?
give
Callum
anyone
running in
a game.
slow-mo.
We will give anyone a
Bayern
game.
Munich,
We'll give anyone a game. Bayern Munich just got battered by Arsenal away. Don't give me that rubbish.
Avi, they had to be fair, bro. To be fair, they were unlucky, you know. But they did the Bayern Munich. Obviously, I think they had Musiala, Shilakun. They'll have got all their players back by then, man. Honestly,
Musiala
Avi,
is
and
out
just
for the
red
season,
card
yeah.
as well. You got red card as well, by the way. So you know, you got to be a bit. Avi, I'm honest. I genuinely don't believe
I'm
that.
surprised that you don't back this team in Europe.
I do back
You
them to
don't
get
back
to a
this team.
quarter-final.
Worse than
I back them
Liverpool
to a
teams have done
quarter-final.
better. We've
Avi,
had
I
worse
back
Liverpool
them
teams than this one. We've had worse Liverpool teams than this one, and we've gone on to win it.
Yeah.
Have a bit of faith. Have a bit of positivity. Have a bit of faith.
Avi,
Starting tomorrow, please.
can I say Real Madrid over 2 legs? Because they shaft us every time. So are we allowed to say that?
Of course he can.
Can
but I
we say
still
Real
fancy
Madrid
playing
will beat
Real
us over 2 legs?
Madrid. I
Well,
still
the
fancy
players
playing
we've
Real
got
Madrid.
available, though, isn't it? That's the
Huh?
big problem. The players, what we've got at our
We
disposal.
don't got fuck all that's available, man.
Going to win the Champions League at Budapest with fucking Enzo at the back.
No, look, Ben, we'll have Kanate back. Look, if I genuinely I'm a fucking positive fan, by the way. I want us to go and win it, right? And I believe in miracles. I believe Anfield can do special things. I believe that, but I still don't. You know, I'm not a realist right now, bro. But you turn up to Anfield right now, you think Anfield's gonna turn up? They're gonna get shafted, man.
I fancy us more in the away games at the minute than the home games.
Yeah, away games will do all right because the onus isn't on us. The onus is on the opposition to come out and play. Whereas we'll probably, we do a lot better.
We can sit in the game more, can't we?
Yeah.
Ben, last week we were on a watch along, and Gene said that the Marseille away, the result was one of the finest that he's seen.
Yeah, I did. It was.
I think they're shit, though, me.
They were shit that day, to be fair to them, Avi, if we're honest.
Yeah.
Oh my God, but this is the problem. You can't say they were shit because it was us. You just can't say they were shit. You can't say that, can you? You said it was one of the best away performances that you've witnessed as a Liverpool fan, Gene. Yes or no?
It was, because yes, considering how fit this team is at this moment in time, it was one unbelievable victory. And I said it on camera because I'm not stupid. If I see something that's good, I'll call it out. Considering how shit this team has been over the last 4 months, to turn up to Marseille, we're on this unbelievable run, and to beat them the way we did 3-0 is a fucking good result. So I called it for what it is. But I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to fucking turn to the Camp Nou and be confident that we're going to beat them. Because I'm not.
Barcelona have had dodgy results at home this season in the Champions League.
Oh, yeah, and
they're not great. They are not great. They are not great. Do not be fooled by his Barcelona team.
Yeah, don't be fooled by Liverpool losing
a many frailties. They got many frailties. Don't say that they're a top 3 team, please.
Okay.
Besti nakar. Kasam besti nakar.
Okay, Liverpool's a top 3 team.
I'm not saying that. I told you to name your top 3. I told you to name your top 3. Oh, 100%. The table doesn't lie, does it? Gene, the table doesn't lie. The table doesn't lie.
You two fuckers.
Well, this is Spear Avi standard, man. We do this all the time.
Fucking funny, la.
Yeah, but Ben, a question to you. Look, we beat Karabakh tomorrow. Surely you'll have some kind of belief that, you know what, maybe these bastards can get to Budapest.
I don't know if I'd have that belief after beating Karabakh or whatever the fuck they called you. But I mean, I'd certainly be feeling a lot better than I am today, put it that way.
Look, Avi, we pray and hope, you know what, the players come back, they get into a bit of form. You know, sometimes, we need a fucking Isak coming back and starting to fire. That's what we're going to need. We're going to need Florian Wirtz to become the 10 that we all know and pray that he's going to become when in the future. We need a fucking Salah to roll back the years and become the Salah that we've seen. For us to win the Champions League, we're going to need something like that. That's what we're going to need, if we're honest.
Imagine he doesn't play Mo tomorrow. Oof.
No, he has to play Mo. It's against Karabakh, he has to, man. I think Karabakh will. I know, fucking hell, mate.
Fucking salary, fucking knocking him out, I think.
Wait, we're not even fucking knocking on Richard Hughes, mate. I've got fucking 3 days I want out of the club. That's what will happen, mate. I'm telling
Get me out,
you.
you
They
dickhead.
fucking tell me you got 3 days. I'm out. I'm gone. Anyway, guys, yeah, you know what, Kings will go because it depends on the draw. Look, we have always mentioned it. The Champions League, a lot of it is, you know, the look of the draw as well, depending on what happens. You do need a look at the draw. And Liverpool, to be fair to them, in the last couple of runs in the Champions League, we did pretty well with the draw. We got a Porto, I think 2 or 3 times in the quarterfinals. Has worked out. Roma in a semi-final worked out when we went to Kiev. So generally speaking, we've got away with it in terms. Obviously, semi-finals against Barcelona, they're never easy, but you know. Let's see what happens. But guys, yes, tomorrow there will be a watch along. So make sure you join us at 7:30. We will be going live at 7:30. You can have the bloody Champions League game on whilst you're listening to me, Asim, and there's a couple of others that will be on the show. Before we go, guys, there was a couple of super chats that I missed. Banter is fine. Thank you very much for your super chat, mate. He goes, why not highlight the man who broke the story first, Fab, who also said Liverpool want in now and are already in talks with the Rennes with Chelsea. Fair play. You know what? I should have actually said Fab at that time because he did mention it or before Paul Joyce did, because I did see that tweet. So Fab, let's give you the credit, mate. You broke the story first, and not Miss Avi that's on this thing in the show. Next one, Barca offside trap against our third man midfield runs. Laugh out loud. I would sue us as well. Just attack versus attack vibes. Buying are better than both. Look, if it's attack versus attack, our attack is shit. We don't have any fucking runners. Frimpong has to be playing fucking centre forward all the time because he's the only one that will beat their offside trap at every single occasion. But their attack are gonna fucking kill us, mate.
Would you play Rio tomorrow?
That's a good question. I would love to see Rio tomorrow.
Off the seat a bit, couldn't he?
Yeah, I'd love to see Rio tomorrow, but Slot's not gonna be that ballsy. I can't see him being that ballsy.
He's gonna play that fucking cut-in fucking Cody, isn't he?
Cutting Cody.
Cutting Cody. That's a wicked one. Cutting Cody.
And does Curtis Jones start tomorrow?
Yeah, do you know, as much as we think Enzo is probably going to play, it wouldn't surprise me if Gravenberch goes centre half. And I think Curtis will play, yeah. Curtis has to play, especially in the home games. We need that scouser out there, bit of tenacity, throwing tackles in. Because that's one thing this team doesn't like to do, Sheen and Avi. They don't like to tackle.
Intensity and press and
Curtis,
high press and all that type of
Curtis
stuff.
is the fucking leader, mate, and he knows that Liverpool aren't good enough at the minute. So 100% he has to start. If I was taking someone out of the midfield, for me it would be Maka, because it looks like he's running through fucking dog shit, doesn't he?
He was awful again on Saturday, Maka. Awful again.
He started all right for the first 20, and then Avi, after that, all of them were shit though. Who was good in that midfield? Who was good in the team? Someone's like us, and I'm not trying to take the piss here. Fucking like rolling back the years of Steven Gerrard carrying a fucking football club, because that's what it feels like he's doing this season, mate. It's like he's fucking carrying the whole team. Yes, he has that shit games in between, but the fucking guy's running like a dog for fucking 30 games. He's gonna fucking tire, and sooner or later, I'm telling you, he's gonna pick up an injury, and when he does, it's not gonna be a small one. It'll be a 6-7 weeker, and our season's gonna be shafted. So that's the biggest issue that I've got, is the guy, he needs a rest. Van Dijk needs a rest. Our team was shagged for 3 days ago.
Van Dijk's the big worry, mate. He's played too much footy. He's looking shite because he's overplayed.
Yep. I agree. Guys, is there anything else you guys wanted to discuss before I call it a day? Avi, anything else? Any bombers?
No, it's great to see Ben on the channel, and I know you guys have done a few shows now in running weeks. But
yeah, I love having Ben on me, you know, Avi. I love having Ben on.
Great to watch you two tonight. Fucking brilliant.
Great to
all over Barcelona, not even about Liverpool.
This is the norm. This is the norm, Ben. This is the norm. But no, guys, make sure you guys have gone across to Red or Alive, and make sure you've subscribed to Ben's channel. Ever growing, and you know they're putting out content day in and day out. So give those lads a watch, a support, a like, and a subscribe as well. If you can subscribe to us, you can subscribe to them.
Big up, Yusuf. Yusuf, will love you. Biggest fan. Much love. Thank you very much, man. Yusuf, big up to you. Inshallah, I'll meet up with you soon, man. Take care. Guys, I think we are done then. Guys, let's make sure you join us for the watch along tomorrow at 7:30. It's a massive game. A one that Liverpool needs, the fan needs, everybody needs. We just want to win football matches. That's all we really care about. Go out there, win some football matches, and try to entertain the fans if we can. And if you can't, honest lot, grab your P45, mate, and see you later. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you soon.